Street Book Club. Evan Jefferson, brother, much love. Educating, elevating, because in knowledge is the power and we'll never give it up. Literature's for the masses. Where to put your money down, now how to watch your assets. Yeah, uplifting others is a passion. My brother Evan, he will turn it into action. New Black Wall Street Book Club. You should come read with us. Yeah, we comprehend and discuss. Yeah. We all just come together. There's no limit for us. Here comes your host, New Black Wall Street. Evan, take it away. New Black Wall Street Book Club. New Black Wall Street Book Club.
All right, my beautiful people. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining in with us here on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. I hope that you are ready to have an absolutely phenomenal Financial Freedom Friday. That's what we're here to do, people. Yes. Well, as you guys know, we are going through the book, and this is going to be our final day on the book as we're going through the lessons from the richest black man in the world. That's right, the richest black man in the world. Good morning. If you are here, go ahead and say good morning to you, boy. Good morning to you, Terry Green. How are you, Miss Monique? How are you? Good morning. Hope you're ready for the weekend. We're just coming back, obviously, from a good morning. Wendy B in the building, Queen to be. Arthur B is in the building. What's going on, Miss Rucker? The Rucker Report. Can't wait to hear or see that. When the next Rucker Report, by the way? When is the next Rucker Report? Got to get a Rucker Report going on. So we got the New Black Wall Street Book Club. We are actually going to be finishing up as we have learned lessons from the richest black man in the world. The richest black man in the world's name is Aliko Dangote. We're going through the book Dangote's 10 Commandments on Money. We'll be finishing that up, going through commandment number 10 today. Tony, Mr. Pony, Mr. Barfield, what's up, brother? How are you? I want to say hello to everybody that's over the New Black Wall Street, Black Enterprise, and then also Atlanta Black Business Network. Thanks so much for joining. If you do want to interact with us, just come on over to the my personal page. And I got a few announcements for you guys as we let Facebook do its thing. We do have sponsors for the show, and our sponsor for today is going to be ERGJ Black Bookstore. The bookstore, which is actually bringing you this book that we're reading, but also other black author books for the community. We just decided that we were going to focus on black authorship. We got a ton of books there to help help your mind, because I believe that leaders are readers, and the more that you learn, the more that you can earn. I think you earn a lot more reading a book than you do watching TV, because there's critical thinking involved in actually reading and processing information. But nonetheless, ERGJ Bookstore, you just go over to the Facebook page, ERGJ Bookstore. The website is under construction. We're working on that. I got a huge announcement for the ERGJ Black Bookstore coming soon. So you guys want to stay tuned, because when I get ready to announce this is a game changer. Everybody put in the comments, little game changer. Got a game changer coming. That's going to make, I want to talk about it, but I can't. I just got to wait. I'm going to let you see what's going on. But nonetheless, Financial Freedom Friday. I want to share with you a couple of other books. Of course, as you may know, I've written a book. It's called The Black Billionaires Club. That billionaire book is going to be shipped out on Monday. Now, we have 3 more days left in pre-sale. So if you want to take advantage of the pre-sale offer to be able to get the book for $20 instead of $25 when it hits retail, to be able to get a signed copy from your author, because you know your author's signature is going to be worth a whole bunch more later than it is today. And if you want to get the free class for your children, the stock market class for kids, well, you're going to go ahead and order the book today, or order multiple copies today. And, give them out as gifts. I just feel like I've written a book that's going to change the way that we look at black wealth. And I hope that we get enough children to read this book, because I truly do believe it's easier to raise strong children than to repair broken men. Let me say that again. This is what Frederick Douglass said. It's easier to raise strong children than to repair broken men. And if you understand like I understand, we sick, boss, as it relates to wealth building for black folk. Again, we sick right here in our beliefs or our thoughts as it relates to wealth building. We're sick right here as our beliefs and our thoughts to blacks who have built wealth. Something's wrong, okay? But it's easier to raise strong children that are not sick, boss, than to repair broken men and women who are sick, boss, okay? So that's what we got going on. So hopefully you'll spread the good seeds. You will, you'll sow the word into the children's life, and you make them read it over the summer. I'm telling you, it will change the way that they approach this thing called life. Not only that, guys, we have our book release party. It's going to be at the Black Billionaires Brunch. So if you are in the Atlanta area or you will be around, make sure that you come and support your boy. And I'm telling you, if you know anybody know anything about ERGJ, I don't do regular parties. We do party with a purpose. So you walk out being able to make more money than you did when you came in. Okay, that's just how we roll. That's just how ERGJ rolls. So if you're in Atlanta, you're going to be in Atlanta. You're going to be traveling to Atlanta. You're in the Atlanta area. Next Saturday is the Black Billionaires Brunch. We launched that, as well as the book release brunch for the book release for the Black Billionaires Club. But I don't just promote what I do. I promote what other people do. I want to share with you a couple books that you'll find in the ERGJ Black Bookstore where we're highlighting Black authorship. Number one, we got Wesley Learns to Invest. This is the first book that was added to our bookstore from Mr. Princedykes. He is an investor. He's got his own show. He's been to Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. This dude is just phenomenal. He's written a book, a fiction book that offers, for the first time ever, a kid-friendly introduction to the stock market and investing. A kid-friendly introduction to the stock market and investing. And again, guys, we want to teach our children early what we learn late. And I didn't have a stock market book written for kids when I was growing up. Now we do. And it's written by a Black man, okay? So you got the opportunity to go ahead and get that in front of your children, because investing is the way to go. We talk about the right side of the cash flow quadrant. Most of us are on the left side, the right side. Most of us are on the left side. If you don't know what I'm talking about there, I don't know what to tell you. But make sure you get the book for your kids, because it's easier to raise strong children than to repair broken men. But then also he followed that up with a book that teaches children, introduces children to the world of credit. Wesley Learns About Credit. It offers a kid-friendly peek into the world of credit by, again, Mr. Princedykes. Illustrated book, kid-friendly book. What would it be like for you guys if you were in the 5th grade, 4th grade, 3rd grade, and someone actually introduced you to the concept of credit to keep you from making some bad decisions as it relates to going into debt using credit because you couldn't pay back what it is you borrowed? What would it be like if you understood credit a little bit at an early age, and then you learn how to use other people's money effectively instead of not using it but wasting other people's money and then finding yourself in a deep, dark hole? It's easier to go into debt than it is to climb out of it, okay? And if you want your life to be easy, you got to do what's hard. Want your life to be hard, you focus on doing what's easy. And also, we got for you, Mikey Learns About Business. This is a $15 book. Mr. Mikey is a kidpreneur. He is just has an enterprise, a vending enterprise. He has 5 vending machines now at 10 years old. He is an author at 10 years old, a Black young entrepreneur, a Black young billionaire. Are you supporting your very own? And are you putting a book like this in front of your kids that can learn about entrepreneurship, learn about business, instead of about learning how to be an employee? In other words, own or be owned. Everybody put that in the comments below. Own or be owned. Are we going to teach our children how to own, or are we going to teach them how to be owned? Something's got to change. Also, we got for you from our sister. That's right, from our sister, Miss Shina Key. Wealth is a mindset. Everything starts with what's in your mind, people. You got to change what's in your mind to change what happens in your life. Wealth is a mindset. You must be wealthy in your mind long before you're wealthy in your wallet. And some of us, as I said, we sick, boss, because we won't read and learn how to change our mindset so we can change our outset. Wealth is a mindset. You get that for $20 over at the ERGJ Black Bookstore. Again, just go on over to the Facebook page, get what you need, have that thing to you, ASAP Rocky. And then last but not least, guys, I want to introduce you guys to Black Dollars Matter. This is the last copy I have in stock. You can get this. Matter of fact, whoever picks this book up, I got a gift for you. Black Dollars Matter. Teach your dollars how to make more sense. Teach your dollars how to make more sense. This is the last copy we have in stock. It's going to come with a free gift. I give away stuff, but it's not really because I want you to buy the book. I want you to get the knowledge. Okay, let me repeat that again. I really don't care whether you buy the book at the end of the day. What I care about is you getting the knowledge. And I just so happen to know for you to get the knowledge, you got to get the book. Right? The book that you do not read will not help. The book you don't read will not help. So you got Black Dollars Matter. It's going to teach your dollars how to make more sense. Okay. You get that for $20 over the ERGJ Black Bookstore. Pick that up. And again, everybody put in the comments, little Financial Freedom Friday. That's what it's about. Let's get right into what we need to talk about today, which is Dangote's 10 Commandments on money. We get into the last commandment, commandment number 10. We may not finish this, but nonetheless, hopefully you've gotten the book or you whatever. I didn't have it in my bookstore. Been working on it for a little while. Still ain't made no segue, ain't made no headway yet. But nonetheless, this has been a great book. Hopefully you've been learning something. Now, we do this not just for you to be entertained, guys. We do this for you to learn something. And so by the end of our time here today, if you stay with us the whole time, hopefully you'll be able to share with us what you learned as we go through Dangote's 10 Commandments on money. And commandment number 10 is simple. It says this: give pleasure to the society and take pain away. Give pleasure to the society and take pain away. Comments below, put give pleasure and take pain away. Give pleasure to the society and take pain away. So Mr. Gauthier has another lesson for us as it relates to what he has on money. And he says, give pleasure to the society, take pain away. After my 9th lesson, I became a truant. Initially, it seemed as if the lessons would not come to an end, and I was willing to do anything to bring it to an end. But now that the end had finally come, my wish was that it should never end. As I said at the beginning of this book, my teacher wanted to use 6 years to transfer to me all that he had learned in all his years of existence here on the earth. However, he did not know that 150 years would not be enough to study his person. One can only liken him to the proverbial elephant felt by the 6 blind men. The only word that can aptly describe him is phenomenon. Our last lesson was held at the most unlikely place for a lesson, by the poolside. I had seen him sitting at the edge of the pool in his swimming trunks and had innocently strayed to be by his side. My thinking was that we would just talk on this and that, and he would dive into the pool while I would watch him swim. But I was miles away from being right. When he saw me, he stood up and said that I should follow him to a cluster of chairs under an umbrella. He seemed determined to get the hell over with the lessons. When we got there, he sat down and I did the same. The chair that I had sat on was directly opposite him, and he fixed his gaze at me. I could feel his eyes burning through my skin into my marrow. Though I was not a mind reader, I guess that he must be going through his mind how time flies. 6 years, which seemed like an eternity, had come and gone. And the little boy he picked up was then now exhibiting all the traits of manliness and was also looking macho, thanks to the effective use of the gym in the house. On my part, looking at my teacher, I could not make out any remarkable physical difference from the day I saw him in our school and now. He looked the same. Somebody might think he was into anti-aging drugs, assuming there's anything like that. But it's not so. Some people are naturally blessed with ageless physique, and he happens to be one of them. If his mega achievements are listed, maybe during an award presentation ceremony, and people see a humble, simple young man strolling out, they may find it difficult to reconcile the citation they heard with the man coming out to be decorated. Their thinking would be something like, for one to achieve that much, he must have lived for over 200 years. Good morning, Mr. Donovan. However, I've seen from his lessons and my personal experiences that with focus, hard work, and the right investments, one could be fabulously wealthy even at 20. Let's repeat that again. I've seen from his lessons and from my personal experience that with focus, hard work, and the right investments, one could be fabulously wealthy at 20. Do you see why? I'm hell-bent on helping the children learn early what we learn late. And those 3 simple things he just said there: focus, hard work, and the right investments. Focus, hard work, and the right investments, and you could fabulously be wealthy even at 20 years old. So I really want you to think about where you are right now and ask yourself, am I fabulously wealthy? And if not, do I need to focus more? Do I need to work harder or smarter? And have I been making the right investments to be fabulously wealthy? A student does not necessarily have to wait until graduation. Don't wait. You don't have to wait. You can get started right now. What is keeping you from getting started? You don't have to wait till graduation before you can start to make money. This is a costly mistake that most people make. However, the fault is not theirs. They are deceived by the school curriculum, which tends to give the impression that money making is evil. The idea that students could concentrate on their academic career until graduation. Black people that are listening today that may just happen to have children. Do you instill the same belief in your children? Because I just picked up a book that the parents were instilling something different in this child. Now, most parents say, hey, don't work, don't do nothing, just go to school. I'm cool with that. But is there some other philosophy where your 9-year-old or 10-year-old could actually be bringing in buku dollars, and they could actually happen to be fabulously wealthy by the time that they're 20 years old, by the time they even think about graduating from school, because of focus, hard work, and the right investments? See, this book here talks about a young 9-year-old boy who made some right investments, who had focus, who was willing to work hard. And now at 10 years old, he's got an enterprise and he is an author. He's accomplished more at 10 years old than most Black grown folk have in a lifetime. Focus, hard work, and the right investments. What are we teaching our children? Face your studies, and after you would have a good job and begin to make money has always been the constant admonition of parents who are also victims of the same curriculum. So we can't blame them. You're just teaching what you know. But if you concentrate on your academic career alone, you will graduate as an academic expert. However, if you go into business while in school, you can graduate as an academic as well as a money expert. Everybody put it down as a little money expert. Do you see why the certified financial educator, do you see why Black Moses continues to preach this one simple concept? Major in money. Not only can you graduate from high school as an academic expert, getting straight A's or 4.0s or whatever it is with a scholarship to college or whatever, but you can also graduate as a money expert if your parents just allow you to get some enterprise. I don't care whether it's cutting grass or cutting hair. Do something to generate some income so you can learn the hard knot lessons of life as it relates to making money. Something that you're going to deal with for the rest of your life. What would it be like if you came out of school, you knew how to make money and you knew how to get good grades, right? You knew how to study and you knew how to build wealth at the same time. See what we got to do. See what we must change. It doesn't have to, it must start with us and what we instill and allow for our kids or our grandkids or our godchildren or your nieces and your nephews. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to tell you the buck stops here with this flawed educational system, which only puts our people in position to be employed instead of being employers. A money expert. Woo! All it takes is effective time distribution and management. After all, didn't Jesus Christ say, give to Caesar what is for Caesar and God what is for God? In the academic institutions, there's a lot of needs waiting to be satisfied. These needs stare students and staff in the face every minute of the day. They grumble about them, but end up doing nothing because they've been instructed to concentrate on their careers. What's up, Mr. Muse? What's going on, Miss Tina? Miss Tika? The needs stare the students and staff in the face every minute of the day. The needs stare Black folk in the face every minute of the day. They grumble about them, but end up doing nothing. Black folk, you complain a lot, but what are you doing about that which it is you complain about? You stare it in the face every day. You complain about it all the time, but you end up doing nothing. You wonder why? You find yourself in the same place year after year, decade after decade, century after century. Nothing changes. if nothing changes. We sick, boss. They have been brainwashed to see nothing else other than their careers. Forget about this inimical brainwashing. It would be fun and financially rewarding if students set up things like car wash centers, laundry, and other businesses in the campuses. Apart from helping them to pursue a much more stress-free career, since most human endeavors boil down to money. It would also help to build an entrepreneurial spirit in the students, which would help them immensely when they graduate. This will go a long way to curb the late starting syndrome, which is unfortunately prevalent in Africa and in Black America. The reason being that after getting the academic knowledge, people will still need to learn how to make money, which, however, is not taught in the academic institutions. You still got to learn how to make money. You still got all of that. Think about this. From kindergarten, which you're about 5 years old, until you graduate high school, which is about 21, let's just say that's 16 years of public education, of formalized structured education. The type of education that will limit you based on will limit your capacity, because you can only graduate with everybody else. No matter how smart or how dumb you are, they keep everybody in the same group based off your age, not off of your ability. Let me say that again. I don't care what instructor's here. You learn based off your age, not off of your ability. There are plenty of people right now, whatever, that's 15 years old. They have the ability to learn as if they're 25, but they are held back because they're 15, not because of their ability, not because of their capacity, only because of their age. For some reason, they believe that this is your age and this is what you should learn. I don't know who came up with this crazy ass system, but you should be able to learn based off of your pace. Put the slower kids with the slower kids and the more advanced kids with the advanced kids, not based off age, based off of capacity or capabilities. Of course, that's why the money school must be built. It must be. I forgot what point I was making, but y'all get my point. If people that came up with the curriculum meant well for the students, they would have stated that students could start businesses that are relevant to their various disciplines in order to bring out fully educated people instead of partially educated people that are graduating to start the second leg of education, which is money making. Education without the knowledge of application and management of money, or how to attain financial independence, only leads to frustration at the end of the day. Without the knowledge on how to attain financial independence, and this just happens to be Financial Freedom Friday. Without the knowledge of how to attain financial freedom, no financial freedom equals frustration. No financial freedom equals stress. No financial freedom leads to frustration. Consider this example. If students of food and nutrition science are encouraged to set up spots to bake and sell to fellow students and staff, electrical engineering students, electrical workshops that will be doing electrical jobs like wiring and repairing for a fee and so on, that would help to curb the unemployment situation in the country. Reason, as they are studying the theories in the classroom, they will be putting them into action in their business spots. They were graduating with the business, and because they had already developed the entrepreneurial spirit and built practical knowledge of their disciplines, they will want to continue with the businesses instead of going to look for employment. This would also help to enhance the quality of education. We have heard of graduates of electrical engineering who cannot do house wiring, and graduates of agriculture who do not know when to plant and harvest maize. Well, this brother's smart. The fault is not necessarily theirs, as I said earlier, but that of the curriculum or the system. We need to move from the era of rhetoric. We need to move from the era of rhetoric, which is the major cause of underdevelopment, mass unemployment, and poverty. We need to move from rhetoric to action. That is a message for black folk today. You got to move from talking about it to actually doing it. You got to move from talking about group economics to actually practicing group economics. You got to move from just sheer moral support of your brother and your sister of that black business to financial support of your brother and or your sister and or that black business. At some point, you got to say, I'm done talking about it. I'm just going to do it and let my actions speak louder than my words. Black folks, so many black folk are so full of hot air, it is ridiculous. We sick, boss. You know what I want to say right now. Whew. There are lots of opportunities out there. Where we're at? To action. If entrepreneurial is taught or encouraged in our institutions of learning, I strongly believe that everybody in Nigeria would have work to do, because as a developing economy, potential work opportunities far outnumber the people. Somebody may argue that students are at times exposed to the practicals, but the question here is, what's in it for them? The answer is nothing. If the practical is going to cultivate the lecturer's farm or repair his car, how many of the students will put their minds there? They would simply feel that somebody wants to take advantage of them. But if the students are encouraged to work for themselves, everybody put in console, work for yourself. If you are encouraged to work for yourself, because you are a student today, and hopefully you're going to be a student the rest of your life. Never stop learning. But if the students are encouraged to work for themselves and make money, you would see that most of the students are geniuses, because it would encourage competition among them, thus inspiring them to study harder and fully exploit their potentials. But the curriculum, which promotes dependency rather than independence, has been their biggest undoing. I strongly encourage students to go into business. There's no law anywhere that forbids students from being entrepreneurs. There are so many needs in the campuses and in society that need to be satisfied. Again, they don't need millions of naira to do this or millions of dollars to do this. A business like laundry does not require much capital. I know that pride may lead some of them into asking, why should they wash clothes for their fellow students or do other services even for a fee? But I want to say that the only thing wrong with any legitimate business is if nothing is coming from it. Imagine how much students who are good at frying bean cake can be making if they wake up early in the mornings to fry bean cake outside their hostel for the students for breakfast. After selling, they would simply dress up and go for their lectures. Believe it or not, before you know it, they will be rolling in money. The reason being that most students, especially those that have 7 or 8 o'clock lectures, go for lectures with empty stomachs. If they see where they can be buying bean cake or instant breakfasts every morning and still be early enough for their lecture, they could hardly resist it. There are lots and lots of opportunities out there. There are lots and lots of opportunities out there. I continue to preach this as well. If you're watching right now, or you're going to watch in the future, I don't care, and you say to yourself, I woke up this morning with an income problem, I want to tell you that that's not true. I know you feel the effects of the lack of income, but that is not the problem. That is the result. The problem is not income. The problem is ideas. You have an idea problem, not an income problem. Because you have an idea problem, your income problem or your income issue is the result of your lack of ideas and your lack to follow through on the ideas which you get. Let me say it again. You don't have an income problem, people. What you have is an idea problem. Wealth is a mindset. Wealth begins in the mind. And so if you use some of your income to fill your mind, then later you can use your mind to bring in surplus to your income. In other words, empty your wallet to fill your mind. Later, you can empty your mind to fill your wallet. You do not have an income problem. What you have is an idea problem. And let me tell you how you can actually foster or refine or start to generate or begin to spark, everybody put in console spark, begin to spark your ideas again. The way that you can spark your ideas again is by getting around people who are idea people. People who are coming up with stuff, people who are innovative, people who are always looking for a way to solve problems. Because the only way that you can solve problems in this society is to be creative and to come up with solutions. Solutions calls for you to have ideas. And so when I tell you something like this, we have the Black Billionaires Brunch next Saturday, and you just happen to be doing nothing but sitting on the couch, not having any ideas, sitting there being frustrated about your income situation, but you won't get around people who will help you spark ideas to fix your situation. It's not about them, it's about you and what you are unwilling to do to change or to help yourself. I cannot help people who refuse to help themselves. Something as simple as getting around the right crowd of people is helping yourself. It's just that simple. It really is just that simple. Because my whole squad is winning. The whole crew is winning. Shardon is here. Shardon is winning, the CEO. She is winning. Arthur Bethany Rucker with the Rucker Report and her SB Essentials. She is winning. Everybody, Terry Green is here. She is winning. My whole squad winning. Why? Because they're around people who pushes them towards success. What about you? Who are you hanging around? Who is in your crew? Who is in your squad? Who is speaking into your ear? Are they pushing you towards success, or are they accepting your mediocrity? Do they push you to extraordinary, or they accept your ordinary? Who is in your network? Michael Muse is here. He's winning. I mean, Tika Akers is here. I'm pretty sure the whole freaking everybody watching probably is winning. Everybody is commenting. I'm pretty sure. I don't know who else is watching. They winning. They just decided that they were going to hang out with a different group of people. They were going to walk away from the 95%. They were going to walk away from the crowd. They don't care about being accepted by the crowd. Because the crowd is nothing but followers. The crowd is nothing but spenders and consumers. They are not idea-generating people who solve the problems that the crowd complains about. The crowd are complainers. The crowd is broke. You got to decide that you're going to walk away from the crowd and don't give two about it. Not going to leave the crowd. You're going to still be concerned about the crowd. You're just not going to be hanging out with the crowd each and every day, having a pity party. Okay? All right, let's get back to the book. Whew. I strongly encourage, where we're at. Oh, he said that already. There are lots and lots of opportunities out there. The only problem is identifying and optimizing them. As my teacher taught me, no business is too small, provided there's money to be made from it. Some of you guys got to hear that. Some of you black CEOs got to hear that. No business is too small, providing that there's money to be made from it. Another thing to note is that money is money. How it was made by the one possessing it is not written on it. The most important thing is that it must be legitimately made or acquired. There's so many products and services that students can go into that are very financially rewarding and easy to start. Especially those, thank you so much for that, Mr. Muse, the winner's circle. That's exactly what I was looking for. The winner. I'm just going to leave that up there for a second. There's so many products and services that students can go into that are very financially rewarding and easy to start, especially those classified as everyday needs. All they need is to sit down and think about the needs that can be met through the use of the very simple technology in which they can start with little or no cost. As I've already pointed out, such opportunities abound. All that is needed is to think and select from the list of possible options. Now, each and every week and day, it seems like Club Millie, New Black Wall Street are providing opportunities that are easy for people to get started with little or no cost. Every day I do this. Every day Black Moses presents opportunities for Black folk to help themselves. But I can lead Black folk to water. I can lead them to wealth, but I can't make them invest in themselves. Everything seems to be more important to Black folk other than building wealth. Everything seems to be more important. Everything seems to be more important. It's more important for me to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta than to actually think about a way so that I can be on the show. It's more important for me to go to the Beyonce concert than for me to think about how I can be a vendor there or how I can support that concert and make some money. It's everything is more important to Black folk than building wealth. And until you take building wealth and make it a priority in your life, see, this is what I believe, okay? It's just that simple. When Black folk make building wealth a priority, then Black folk will build wealth. Everything that we make a priority in our society, in our community, has become a reality. But it's the things that we take for granted, matter of fact, not take for granted, the things we take for granted and the things that we neglect, the things that we don't make important, we don't make important the things that should be important. And again, we've been talking about this whole, you go to church, you talk about leaving an inheritance for your children's children. You got this talking standpoint that that's what you want to do. It's a discussion. It's not a commitment. You're only interested in building wealth. You have not committed to it yet. Because if you really committed to building wealth, it would show in your behavior. It would show in your decisions to say no to the things that have absolutely nothing to do with building wealth, to say no to the things that's going to continue to siphon money out of your pocket and into those that you don't went to the other communities. If you were really serious and committed to building wealth, it would show in your behavior. It's just that simple. So he's talking about, what are we on? He's talking about give pleasure to society and take pain away. I was still reflecting on all of these when my teacher announced our lesson number 10 is give pleasure to society and take away pain. Going straight into the lesson, he said, I've already told you that man, like every other animal, seeks pleasure and shuns pain. All the running around that we are doing is certainly not for ourselves, but for the society in which we find ourselves. It is for ourselves alone. Some of us would have applied the brakes a long time ago. I don't do what I do for myself. Miss McLean doesn't do what she does for herself. The CEO doesn't do what she does for herself. She's offering an opportunity to join her team for free and make some money. Mr. Muse from the Winner's Circle, he doesn't do what he does for himself. We're not selfish people. We make opportunities available for those who are willing to work. It's just that simple. So don't complain. I'm just saying you can't complain about your situation if you're willing to do nothing about it. Whatever your situation is. I don't know what your situation is. I just know at some point you're going to wake up and say, okay, enough is enough. I'm about to do something about this, and I'm going to make my life the way that I want it to be, and that's just it. I'm done playing around with life. I'm taking my life seriously because I only got one life to live. And you best believe I'm going to live it the way that I want to live it. And hopefully the way that you want to live it is going to leave a better legacy. It's going to leave this place better because you were here and not worse because you were here. Are you making your community a better place? Are you making your household a better place? Or are you just here, wasting away? Take control of your life. It is not for ourselves alone. Some of us would apply the brakes a long time ago. We have, by the grace of God and by the dint of hard work, gotten all that this life has to offer. And that's one question I want to ask you today, and want you really to think about. Wherever you are, no matter how old you are right now, up until this point, have you gotten all that life has to offer? If not, why not? Have you gotten all that life, not some, not just a little bit, I'm talking about each and every day that you wake up, you get all that this day has to offer. You get all that this week has to offer. You get all that this year has to offer. You get all that this life has to offer. Because the key word is that offer. It is offered to you, but are you taking advantage of it? It's offered to you, but can you notice it? And are you willing to take all that this life has to offer? It comes, but you must grab it. You must take it. You must receive it. You must accept it. Not just look at it and watch it pass you by. It is obvious that nobody has ever succeeded in taking a kobo, let alone a naira, to the grave, which is money. Therefore, since we will not take money to the grave, a narrow-minded person may say something like, let me just get enough out of my life. But we are not myopic. We are human beings. We live in a society. It is society that made us what we are. Ultimately, whatever we have acquired will be given back to society directly or indirectly. There's a saying that he who does not know where he is coming from does not know where he is going. We are like birds that left the tree to fly around in search of ways of making life better. At the end, we will go back to the tree. We cannot continue to hover about forever. Even that would be against the immutable law of gravity. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, after running around in search of ways of making life better, have turned to the society. They're now taking away pain from the society and giving pleasure. That should be the ultimate vision for every successful entrepreneur, contributing his or her own quota towards alleviating pain in the society and replacing it with pleasure. I really want you to think about this. When you think about your business or your business idea or your concept or your contribution, whether it's for-profit or non-profit, answer this question in your time, in your homework today. How is what you are doing alleviating pain and replacing it with pleasure? How is what you are doing, whatever you got, whatever you're doing, service or product, whatever it is, how is it alleviating pain and replacing it with pleasure? In other words, this is one of those questions where you really have to figure out what it is that you're selling, what it is that people are buying from you. That's one of the hardest things for entrepreneurs to really figure out, because they focus on the product or the service. They don't really focus on the pleasure that it brings to their customers. How are you alleviating pain and replacing it with pleasure? For those who might not be in business right now, this is something for you to think about, because people are going to buy what they want, not necessarily what they need. And what everybody wants is pleasure. They want to feel good. So ask yourself, what is something that I can offer to society that's going to alleviate pain? See, I sell financial freedom. It alleviates the pain of money issues, money problems, stress about money. It brings pleasure because of freedom. Freedom is a pleasurable experience to be able to go and do what you want when you want to do it. How are you alleviating pain and replacing it with pleasure with what it is that you are doing or that you are wanting to do? Whew, this is good stuff. I'm not in total agreement. What is the need of having all the money in the world and people around you are suffering? I ask myself, it is only a wicked man that would be happy while people around him are sad. You know that the two most important things in the world are health and wealth. My teacher continued. Therefore, you should always try to promote them. Whenever you think of corporate social responsibility, think of what you can do. Think of what you can do to give good health to the people and then wealth to sustain the good health. Both are complementary. You cannot give one and leave out the other. You must use wealth to sustain health. Oh, this is some good stuff here. Let me repeat this again. You know that the two most important things in the world are health and wealth. Therefore, you should always try to promote them. Whenever you think of corporate social responsibility, think of what you can do to give good health to the people and then wealth to sustain the good health. Both are complementary. You cannot give one and leave out the other. You must use wealth to sustain health. You must use wealth to sustain health. The main reason for the hostility of host communities, which some entrepreneurs complain about, is that they tend to take the communities for granted. They don't give back to the community part of what they are taking from them, Black people. You got to hear this, because some of you today feel as if you're not getting support from the Black community that you feel you should get, but yet you're not giving anything to the community. You're only looking to take from the community versus also give back to the community from which you say you want to support. I've noticed this. Matter of fact, I've noticed it just in what I do. I see a whole bunch of people that are always looking for aid, help, and assistance from ERGJ to Black Moses. But then when it's time for them to give aid, assistance, and support to Black Moses, they're nowhere to be found. It's called being a taker. They always complain about the lack of support, but they don't support anybody. Isn't it interesting? And those are the people that complain, but the people who don't complain, they find themselves in good success because they understand the law of reciprocity. They give and then they get. They don't get wanting to give. They don't look to get first and then say, I'll give later. No, they give first because they understand that they can't outgive God. It's impossible. So the people who understand this simple principle, they go out each and every day looking to give, finding a way to give to others. Whether it be their knowledge, whether it be a kind word, whether it be advice, whatever it is. And then they find themselves being overflowed with success because they realize, I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know who it's coming from. But what I do know is this. It's impossible for me to outgive God. I don't know who that's for. But maybe you woke up this day, you thought about how you could get something. You didn't think about what you could give. When I mentioned to you that you buy this book, you're going to get something for free. That's me giving you something. That's something that comes out of my profit. That's something that I could make some money from. I don't care about that because I understand that I can't outgive God. That's for somebody. They don't give back to the community part of what they're taking from them. We're in a world of information technology. Much information is available on the internet. For instance, if you have a rubber plantation in Benin City from where you export latex, the enlightened people in the community would simply get hold of the quality that you're exporting per day. Go to the internet and find out how much latex is selling in the international market, and from there know how much you are making from the community per day. Technology has made it possible for people to be monitoring all this, and as such, we can no longer afford to hide our earnings and think that people won't know. After they've discovered how much you are making from their land and there is no corresponding benefit coming to them through your corporate social responsibility, they will not be happy with you. This at times leads to the company's production process being sabotaged or their equipment being vandalized. But if a company is giving back a little of what it is taking from a community, it may not need to spend heavily on security to operate in such an environment. On the other hand, the community would see the company as theirs and would give it all the support and protection it needs. This is for the Black CEO. If a company is giving back a little of what it is taking from a community, it may not need to spend heavily on security to operate in such an environment. On the other hand, the community would see the company as theirs, and it would give it all the support and protection it needs. Entrepreneurs who don't abide by this universal principle of give and take tend to materialize their operations. But the truth is that security operatives are not factory products. They also come from the communities, and if the exploitation that you have brought them to perpetuate is happening in their own communities, they will not be happy. This is why once in a while they would look the other way to let the community have their way and vent their anger on the company and its equipment. However, if trying to give back to the society, make sure that you don't donate money, as experiences show that such money doesn't go around, is not used for the purpose for which it is given. Put your money in projects. Everybody put in the comments below, put your money in projects like schools, hospitals, water, electricity, and the rest, so that they would be a monument for everybody in the community to see. With that, anytime somebody stands up to say something negative about you, the rest of the community would be in one accord, shout him down, because there's physical evidence to show that you mean a lot to them. There is physical evidence to show that you mean a lot to them. That is why it's better to execute projects for the benefit of the whole community than walking into a council of chiefs meeting to donate money. Now do you see why? When I talk about some of these celebrities and I talk about these folks who got money, and you feel like just because they donated to such and such a cause that really means a difference. My question to you is always this. This is how I always test the people who which I choose to follow. My only question is this: what have you built? That's it. That's all I need to know. What have you built, or what are you building that will be physical evidence to my community? Not the money that you gave to the NAACP, not the money that you gave to some scholarship, which is all fine and dandy. I'm not saying don't do that. But all these billions and billions of dollars that you have, what the hell have you built? Where is the grocery store? Where is the school? Where is the university? Where is the library? Where is the hospital? What the hell have you built other than a mansion on the hills? I need some physical evidence to show that you are making a contribution to my community. You're not going to pull the wool over my eyes and send some money from Dubai to some organization to let them misappropriate those donations. No, no, no. What the hell have you built? Really just that simple, people. Stop falling for fakeness and start asking for realness. Well, guys, there's a little bit more to the chapter, but I'm gonna let you guys finish that up on your own. At this time, as we always do, we like to know, what did you learn today? This is not a time for you to just be entertained. It's a time for you to be empowered. And for me to know that you've been empowered, that we should come back with another strong book from our Black folk next week. I got to figure out what book we're going to read. I need to know what you learned today. Now, I understand that I talk a little bit faster than you type, and that's what the book club is all about. Leaders or readers, the more you learn, the more you earn. What did you learn? What is your takeaway? What made an impact or a statement in your life from your time with us here at the New Black Wall Street Book Club? Also, what I'd like for you to do, go over to the page ERGJ Bookstore. And at that time, the way that one thing that I believe is that money is the exchange of value for value, the exchange. And so if you felt like you've gotten something out of today, and you're saying, what can I do to exchange with my good brother for this ERGJ experience? Well, the exchange that you can do is just a quick review. Go to the page and leave a review sharing with the world the exchange of value that you got from the value that you receive. Don't be a taker. Be a give and taker. You got something today, you want to give something back. That way I don't have to charge you next time. See, that's how you avoid, that's how you keep free alive. You keep free alive by giving and exchange. Let me repeat that again. Somebody got to get that. The way that you keep free alive is by giving some type of exchange. Value for value. Not just receiving, but never giving back. That is charity. That is a donation. That is a beggar. We are not beggars. We are barterers, people. And we give exchanges for value. For value. What did you learn today? And then also, take the time to go to the ERGJ Black Bookstore, check out the store, leave a review based off the exchange. While you guys are typing right now, I just want to go through again. We got quite a few books to make you aware. We let you know today that you can pick up a few things at the ERGJ Black Bookstore. You got the Western Learns to Invest. You can get this for $20. Introduction to the Stock Market for Kids. You got Western Learns About Credit, $20. You can pick this up. Introduction to Kids to Credit. You got Mikey Learns About Business, $15. You can pick this up. An Introduction to Entrepreneurship for Kids. We got Wealth is a Mindset by Miss Shina Key, an adult book to help change the way that you think so you can change your results. That's $20. You can pick that up as well. And then Black Dollars Matter. Teach Your Dollars How to Make Sense. The last copy, the person who gets this copy will get a free gift because it's the last one. But nonetheless, it's not about it's not about the book that you buy. It's about the knowledge that you receive by reading the book. That's what is about for me. And then, of course, I'm inviting you all out, for those in the Atlanta area, for the book release of the Black Billionaires Club, the book that goes through the 12 Black billionaires in the world today and how they built their wealth. To get the book, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, so you can get the discount, you can get the signed copy, and your children can get the class, Stock Market class for kids. And then also, by getting the book, you will have free access to the Black Billionaires Brunch, which will be next Saturday the 15th here in Atlanta. You don't want to miss this, because what I'm talking about is putting you around people who can help spark ideas that can lead to multiple streams of income in your life. So let's see what we got for our takeaway. It says here, takeaway number one, she says, you're not leaving money on the table if all you know is working for someone else's dream and never your own. You'll never fully experience financial freedom. Ms. Green says this. She said, I learned to give pleasure, to take pain away for any business to make a sale. This is always the key to business. This is always the key to business. And today, guys, it's all about Financial Freedom Friday. And hopefully today was just a little piece of you becoming more free. Freeing your mind and the rest will follow. Free your mind and the rest will follow. As I always say this, you must be wealthy in your mind long before you're wealthy in your wallet. And knowledge, my people, applied is the new currency. You can get paid more for what you know than what you do. It's labor that we have been doing. It's cotton picking that we have been doing instead of figuring out how we can actually use that cotton, make it into something else, sell it for more. That is the wisdom. Monique says this. She says, teach my children to make their own money. Not later, not now, not later. There's no change without change. Thanks for the word, brother. And thank you so much, Ms. Monique, for your continued support. Well, guys, the New Black Wall Street, guys, the book club, where the more that you learn, the more that you can earn. I want to remind you of this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build Black wealth together. You guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll catch up with you soon.
It's the New Black Wall Street Book Club. New Black Wall Street. With your host, Evan Jefferson. It's time for us to go. Yeah. Now, you ain't got to leave the computer, but we encourage you to get out there and learn and apply all the things you learn at the New Black Wall Street Book Club.